you really need to have processes and systems in place so that you're not as needed for every little thing. And that allows for more time for you to think about marketing and thinking about, how to grow the law firm. Because if you're in the day-to-day of, you've got client appointments and you've got to, actually do the work after, getting the client to hire you. If you're doing all of that work, then that's not going to put you in the best position for the next client and then the next client. You really have to have processes in place so that you're able to, get ready for the next client, think about your next move. So that's one thing that I've thought about a lot is the more I'm needed in the law firm, the less valuable my law firm is. So that's kind of my feedback on that.
Yeah, and it's counterintuitive because that's me. I bring that value. I'm the one who has to do that. I'm responsible for it. And so you don't ever abdicate the responsibility, but the concept was mentioned in the podcast of that responsible delegation of how are you making sure that as you're looking at all the different aspects of your practice and the delivery of your service to your client, what's the best way to navigate that and what's the best way to systematize it so it can be repeated and give you those high quality results over and over. And those are the key things, I think, as we're entering into sort of the tail end of the year and reflecting on what worked well and what needed to be improved based on feedback and those kind of things. And then personally, like what are the things that really only I can do? And how do I move everything else off to someone else to do? And that's not an easy exercise because I know many lawyers kind of feel that ongoing responsibility for each little aspect of whatever, the deliverable is. And I struggle with that because I never want to ask anybody to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
Right.
But I think one thing Andy Stanley pointed out in the podcast that's helpful is there are things that I don't like to do that somebody else may love to do. And if you can find that support system that works everyone into their area of competence, where maybe that weakness for me is met by someone's strength over here, that's the best outcome you can hope for.